The Browns drive about to get started. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Chubb on the counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throw left side. There's Schwartz with it. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They give him a gain of 38.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Campbell making the catch. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Cade York on now for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. York able to send this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Stafford. Open man is Denzel Mims. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover down.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's Stafford. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Rams will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
The rookie was trying to push him downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Stafford.
He's got this one completed to Mims. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Drops it off for Chubb. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
The Browns drive about to get started. They begin this drive with Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll try the jet sweep. Stafford pops it forward.
And some room to maneuver. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage. A little something extra in his repertoire.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 36. Stafford now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. That's complete once again to Hopkins.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
There it is, the defense waking up after 3 plays that hurt them. Finally, they stand up.
They have a little pride, too, you know. 3 straight first down type plays. Yeah, they wanted to make one stick on their side, didn't they?
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Hopkins. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Stafford. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Chubb.
And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Schwartz. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late point. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second and 6. Throw left side complete. That's Schwartz.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field, and this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A gain of 32 that time.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Rams are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stafford. And this one is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Kupp.
And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20.
69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I know that every now and then we get those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Stafford going to throw it. Buying time to his left. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for L.A., they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
head, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we not to ride nobody with, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yani at the buy, Yani at Yanni hits. It goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr.
Yeah. Sound like some superheroes. Some black superheroes. Oh, yeah. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
You need a hero like me. Military mind stated, and I keep a degree. You can label me a Huey P. Made a martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mega. I refuse to let these dirty devils make Michael a beggar. A hero CEO, I will go Magneto for my people. Give me liberty or death, that is my credo, not my ego. Dressed in a tuxedo, into party, also get your leader, in gazebo, did it for the people. Love what motivated, I did not do it for hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it. I was asked a question and the asker thought it hard. If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for every to be free here and abroad. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Our own kind took nip from us. Money still reading God we trust. Truthfully we envy, so why we so envious? And why our own kind envy us? God said it's hard, but we gotta keep our head up. Going even though we know sell attention, cause we ain't careful where we all pay attention. I need all my real soldiers on the front line, fighting for the right just one time. So unstoppable together at the same time, with the same mind. Yeah, we're born to be high and always above what's beneath us. So every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
I'm talking bulletproof, kind of suit, reflect the struggle that they put us through. With the strength to fight the power like Chuck D do. With the insight to be equal. No disguise needed, a voice that finds reason to multiply. People in the streets for the cause. Marching on Washington miners will be walking through walls. Type of superhero show up when ain't no one to call. That'll shield you from them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes, the peak, the villains in the door. Power of the war would even start. The knowledge to build and grow where they live and take care of the kids and the older folk. The clean cause they need it most. Politics with the kings. About economic growth. Cure PTSD. Cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry and dope. Everyone would know. Everywhere we go.
Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and I gotta trust me. Just to get that faith and know that. Because you got my faith. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and I gotta trust me. Just to get that faith and know that.
I'm the best, is you know.